Good morning, boys and girls, and all of God's children. Welcome to the Church School Neighborhood. I'm Sister Angie Spears, the excited South District Church School Superintendent, and my presiding elder is the Reverend Dr. Janet Jenkins Sturdivant of the South District of the Philadelphia Annual Conference. Again, we welcome you today, and I also get to serve as the First District Church School Assistant Superintendent. We have such a great lesson for you today. Our lesson topic is justice and the outsiders. Justice and the outsiders. And our special word for today is alien. And in the Bible, sometimes it's the word alien that's used. Other times it's the word marginalized or outsider. They all have the same meaning in today's lesson. Let's ask Patches and Buttercup to give us some examples of alien. And they gave wonderful examples. Why don't you start, Buttercup? Now again, remember that outsiders or aliens, it means that these are people from a different community. And often people would take advantage of them. They wouldn't be just. They might give them less. They might say, oh, well, you don't belong here, and we're just going to give you what's left over. Or they might really take advantage of them. The people might be poor, and they know, well, they need to make money, so we're going to have them work all day and give them just a little teeny tiny bit. And God is letting his people know he wants everyone to be treated justly. And so he singles out the aliens, the marginalized, the outsiders, treat them with justice. So Buttercup, what was your example? Buttercup's mom is president of the church choir. And one summer there was a special combined community choir. And they were putting together a special ceremony for the inauguration of the new mayor of the town. And Buttercup's mom, she really became the director of the choir. And what happened is in the town, some of the larger churches, people know each other. Some of them, they might be close relatives, like maybe somebody's sister goes to one church and her children, and then another church, it's the same family split between churches. But then you have really small churches in the town. And when those members came out to be a part of the choir, Buttercup's mom made certain that they were treated fairly, that they were included in decisions. If there was an important meeting where they're going to make a big decision, like maybe the color of the choir robes, things like that, she would make phone calls just to make certain, were you invited? This is the time of the meeting. So she did not treat the outsiders unjustly. She did not take advantage of them. And she went above and beyond, because some of the people in the community, they spoke Spanish and they wanted to sing a solo in their native tongue. And Buttercup's mom says, you know what? I think that would be beautiful. It's inclusive. And guess what? Buttercup's mom did such a wonderful job in bringing that community together that the mayor sent his mom a letter recognizing her as a model citizen. Excellent, excellent, Buttercup. Patches, what was your example? Well, like we know, no one wants to be an outsider. And Patches says that a couple of years ago when he was putting together the science, he was in the science competition, and then sometimes they would have special classes at the high school. So Patches would have to leave elementary school and go to the high school, sometimes at the end of the day, maybe 2 o'clock. Well, what happened, normally Patches wouldn't know anybody. He's around all these really big kids. But remember we said Patches has a lot of older cousins who meet up at Grandpa's house? There's quite a few cousins in the high school. So that means when Patches would go places in the high school, they'd say, oh, you're Ronnie's cousin. Oh, you're Sherry's cousin. Hey, Patches. Many of them had even been over to Grandpa's house with the cousins playing ball or what have you. So they did not treat Patches like an outsider. They did not treat him like an alien. And Patches says that felt really, really good when people would say, "Are you Ronnie's cousin?" Yes. Excellent, excellent example, Buttercup and Patches. What we want to do is take a look at I'm looking at our junior AME book, and let's take a look at what we will call the introduction. It's called Getting Ready. In today's lesson, we will learn about the inclusiveness of God. God includes everyone. This means that God loves everyone equally. God has no favorites. It does not matter what you look like or whether you are young or old. The book of Deuteronomy seeks to form Israelite society on the foundation of love for God above all else and concern for justice among people. And you remember, God has been telling us this whole quarter, justice is very important to God. Let's go down to the 3rd chapter of this introduction. We are called to treat others with dignity and respect. For those who may be more vulnerable in society, we should take extra care and make sure their basic needs are met too. What is one way you can help someone who may be poor or marginalized? Share your answer with the group. So I'm trusting that when you get into your church school class, these are the types of questions that you will be answering in your church school on this Sunday. Let's go straight to the Bible text, and we'll just read a couple of paragraphs, and it will let us know how important it is to God that we treat others correctly, including the outsiders, including the aliens, including the marginalized. Here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 10. When you make your neighbor a loan of any kind, you shall not go into the house to take the pledge. You shall wait outside while the person to whom you are making the loan brings the pledge out to you. So if someone really needs something, and let's say you're going to be kind to give it, God doesn't want you standing all over them, making them feel bad. Verse 12, if the person is poor, you shall not sleep in the garment given you as the pledge. You shall give the pledge back by sunset so that your neighbor may sleep in the cloak and bless you, and it will be to your credit before the Lord your God. You shall not withhold the wages of poor and needy laborers, whether other Israelites or aliens who reside in your land in one of your towns. You shall pay them their wages daily before sunset because they are poor and their livelihood depends on this. Otherwise, they might cry to the Lord against you and you would incur guilt. And then we want to go to our memory verse, which is our next verse, verse 17. You shall not deprive a resident alien or an orphan of justice. You shall not take a widow's garment in pledge. Isn't God making it crystal clear? He wants everyone to be justice. And just in case people think they can get away by treating people they don't know a different way, he says, you shall not deprive a resident alien or an orphan of justice. You shall not take a widow's garment in pledge. So let's take a look now at our memory verse. And again, I just know you're going to enjoy this lesson in your church school class. It's Deuteronomy chapter 24, 17a. So just the very first part. You shall not deprive a resident alien or an orphan of justice. So deprive would mean to take something away. Like if I had candy on a table and I said, no, you can't have it, then I would be depriving you of that. And God is saying you shall not deprive a resident alien or an orphan of justice. Can you fill that out with us? You shall deprive a resident or an orphan of. Can you fill that out with us? You shall not deprive a resident, alien, or an orphan of justice. And that is Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 17. We trust that you're going to enjoy this lesson. I think we're having a wonderful quarter, and our quarter title is, the theme of our quarter, it is History, Justice, and Law. And we're learning how important it is to God that there be justice, that we treat everyone fairly. We trust that you will enjoy your lesson and that you will join us on next week. Next week we'll be in 2 Samuel, the 12th chapter, and our lesson title is Nathan Condemns David. Until then, have a blessed week. Bye-bye. God bless you.